I would like to express some disclaimers. I'm not a Moodle expert, okay? So what I'm going to share today is just based on my experience been using UUM for online assessment, 100% online assessment. And I might not be able to answer all your questions, but I will try to guide as much as I can. Okay, inshallah. Right. Before we go to my UUM online learning account, okay, before I show you, I think it's better for me to know that you know about the context, so that you get the idea. Can you see my Word document? I'll show you my Word document now. Is it visible to you?
Okay, clear, Doctor.
Can see, Doctor.
Okay. So I'm sharing you my context, the context of what I'm going to show you later in my UUMOL. Okay. So basically, I teach a multimedia subject. Okay, multimedia subject. So the nature of this subject, as you can see from my CAP document, course assessment planning document. So this is the CAP situation. In this course, I have 4 CLOs. Okay. And the way I assess students to achieve all the CLOs, I design quizzes, I give them individual assignments as well as group assignment. And then in normal situation, we have final exam. So it's a 60-40 punya coursework as the assessment, right? Okay, so how do I transform this? How do I design all this assessment inside UUMOL? Okay. So remember, I have 2 quizzes and also 2 individual assignment and 1 group assignment. So I managed to do all these online, paperless. Okay. Right. Go to my UUMOL. I'm going to show you the overall picture first, so you get the idea what you are going to get, what you will benefit from today's session. Okay. So this is my UUMOL account. This is the current semester. So I'm still teaching the same subject, Multimedia System Foundation. Okay. But I want to show you what I did in the past semester. It's semester 191. Okay. So this is inside of my UMOL for STIV 1023 and 191. Okay. So I decided to create the look of my UMOL by creating a distinctive block. Okay? So it's easier for students and for me to identify whatever component or object that I want to, access. So I have assignments, quizzes, okay, for my lab session, and then for topics, it's down here. Okay, I used to set the look for my UMOL according to week. I found it a bit confusing towards the end of the semester where I couldn't find the object that I want quickly, as quick as possible. So I decided to have it by topic. It's easier like this. Okay. Right. So let's focus on assessment. The assessment part. Okay. Like I mentioned previously, I have 2 quizzes. So this is how I create my quizzes. Okay. I put it under a different block for quizzes. So this quiz, the way I conduct it is actually a synchronous session, a real time. So I run it in class. I happen to have the opportunity to use lab for the second meeting of the course in every week. So I choose the lab session to do this online quiz so that students can access the quiz at the same time using computer. Okay, so they don't have an excuse not having computers, laptop breakdowns, no battery, so you can use the lab PC. Okay. Right, so this is a quiz. I'm just going to show you very quickly how my quiz look like. Okay. This is how the quiz should like. I have a few type of questions here. Okay. Because I was so excited to try this for the first time. So I tried out few questions type. I did drag and drop, matching, MCQ, so on and so forth. Okay. So back to the other quiz also work almost the same. Okay, here's another quiz. As you can see there, I have set password. Okay, I will show you how we can set password for quizzes. This is another, one of the steps for to apply some security, okay, to this function, right? Okay, for assignments, I have 2 individual assignments, okay, and also 1 group assignment. So this is how I create it in my UMOL. Was for individual assignment. Okay, so I put all the description for the assignment in the UMOL. Okay, and then just in case my student have problem with internet connection, now this can be applied to our situation now. It is also advisable for you to upload at least additional file, okay, of the same description lah. So they can download it, and without having to connect to internet again, you can refer again to the description. Okay. So during semester 191, I have 27 students. Okay, the total student is 27. So I can see how many have submitted, how many needs grading. Okay. So you can see this is the interface when students submit their work. Okay, I'm sure you have seen this. This is very common. Okay, so students submit their work. Okay, and then I can also do grading because I already set in my UMOL to grade everything online. Okay, do the grading online. So I can see on one part of the screen is the students' work. Okay, students' work, and the other part of the screen on the right is my rubric. Okay, this is my rubric. So I don't need extra paper to write down all the marks. Okay, I created the rubrics in the UMOL. So I just basically have to click on which item I think, now on which scale I think the student should get, okay, for their work. Okay, so just as simple as clicking on each scale, and then the total mark will be counted for you lah. Okay? It's auto calculated. Okay, that is the mark 7.88, right? So I can continue marking other assignment as well. Okay, so since this is already a completed course, this is the last semester course, so you see there's no need, there's no more work to be graded lah, 0 dah tak ada. Okay, what else? Yeah, so it works the same with my other assignment, assignment 2, because it's also individual assignment. Okay, but what I'm going to show you is my third assignment, which is group assignment. Okay, so remember I have 27 students, right? So for group assignment, I allow them to form a group of 5 to 6. Okay, so I get about 5 groups from that class. Okay, so 5 times 5, itulah 25, plus ada yang 6 members per group. Okay, so for group assignment, I set this submission to be a group submission. Okay, so in group submission, only 1 submission is needed from each group. Tak perlu, we don't need all members to send the same submission. Okay, so as you can see how it works, when you view the submission, okay, if you can let me see here. Okay, each students are assigned to group. This is the group name, A2, A1. This is another member from A2. This is group A5, so on and so forth lah. Okay, so let's say Quiz Shilling already submitted the work for group A2. So Khalis bin Zulkifli and the rest of the member doesn't have to submit because it will be copied. Okay, auto copied to another group. Okay, so it works the same when I grade the work. When I grade the work, okay, again for this assignment, okay, don't worry, I'm just showing you first the situation that I had last semesters. I haven't started on the demo, on the step-by-step demo yet. Okay, for those who just joined us. Okay, So in this is a proposal for this group A2, okay, team A2. So in the rubric, this is the rubric that I have for this proposal. So I set the marks that is that this student should get. So this is the total mark. So 4.8. Once I save this mark, okay. So 4.8, the same mark will be applied. The same mark will be applied to all members of group A2. Okay, 4.8, A2 4.8, another A2 members 4.8. Okay, just one grading applied to all. Very simple, right? So since my third assignment is actually a group project, so I have separate deliverables that they need to submit according to stages, the phases of the project. So I separate the submission into according to the deliverables. Okay. So I have assignment 3, all these are assignment 3 under one same group project, but I separate the submission according to the deliverables. So proposal, solution design, peer evaluation, final product. Okay. Right. Now, so I completed all assessment online, paperless. I do not require student to print out any hard copy, no. So I think this practice can be done now, since our situation right now, we are not allowed to meet students and they're not allowed to meet us. So, yep, this could be one of the alternatives lah. Okay, but the most exciting part is once everything is done, okay, you get to view the grade book. Okay, let me show you the grade book. The grade book can be accessed, here also can. Somewhere here, grade book setup. Okay. Sini pun boleh grades, grades. Okay. So there are different way to access the grade book, right? So in the grade book, this is the grade book setup. You will see all the assessment that you have created just now in your UUM or L. Complete assessment, 60%. Okay. Because this is a 60-40, remember this is 60-40 cost assessment. Okay, so all are being listed out inside this grade book. Okay, there's one thing for you to know. If you plan to have like what do you call it? Formative assessment. Formative assessment ni, what I understand is, correct me if I'm wrong, is assessment that you plan to give, but not meant to be counted in the coursework mark, right? It's just to test their understanding and all that, and to engage them with the class and all that. So if you plan to do formative assessment in UMOL, you must be careful not to include, functions like assignment and quizzes. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, if you create more assignments and quizzes functions in UMOL, but they're not meant as summative, they are still going to be listed inside this list. So you will see later on, you punya total mark akan exceed 60%. Okay. So for this grade book ni, you better design it and set it so that it only capture only for summative assessment, the one that you want to include in the 60-40 lah, 60%. Okay, coursework. Am I confusing you? Do I confuse you or is it clear? Okay.
Okay. Alright.
Okay. Right. Okay. So maybe lah, in my opinion, maybe you boleh buat formative assessment tu, you can do it separately using other tools that we have been learning all this while kan, through webinar, Webex and Zoom ni, we have been learning a lot, like Socrative lah, apa lagi Google Form and all that. I think that one can be used for formative as a separate tool, ataupun quiz board dalam Telegram pun boleh. Okay. So that kalau if you include everything in UMOL for formative, dia akan it will kacau a bit with your total coursework mark lah. Okay. So let me show you what the gradebook looks like. So this is the gradebook. I can see the mark for all my students, complete. Okay, for all assessment. Okay. Panjang sikit lah dia punya layout dia. Because why? Because the way I label my, my assignment, my quiz tadi tu a bit lengthy, so it capture everything. It makes the table so wide, okay? So you can reduce the label, make it shorter, right? So from here, what you can do is, for marks vetting, our normal practice, you can just export this into whatever format that you want. Okay, normally we go for Excel. Okay, so I get to download everything in Excel format. Okay, so then you get your complete coursework mark for students. So actually reduce the mistake that could happen when you, let me share, you see it? Okay, it might, so this is automatically being captured, okay, all these marks, okay, so you can actually delete lah whatever column that you don't want, okay, and then you can do the summation and everything, then that's it, you have your gradebook ready, okay, at the end of the semester. Yep. So basically that's the whole thing that I'm going to show and then share with you guys today. Okay. So we are going to do the step by step lah. Okay. Inshallah, we'll start with assignment first. So right now, it's already 3 p.m. We have like approximately 1 hour. Okay, inshallah. Let's see how it goes. Right. So, any questions so far? No question. Right.
Doctor, you will teach us how to create the rubrics.
Yes.
I don't know how to, create the rubrics for our, questions for assignments or whatnot.
Okay, sure. That's, I'm going to teach step by step. Okay, so I'm just showing you the whole scenario first, so you get the idea of what you're going to get today. Right, so let's start with the assignment. So I have created a demo like that. Okay. I created this blog and put all our demos, our today's demo inside this. Okay. I already notify my students that don't get alarmed by this. This is just for demo session. Right. So let's see the context of your course is almost the same like mine. Okay, so you have quizzes, individual assignments, and group assignments. Okay, and all has to be submitted in a form of report. Okay, if it's not report pun, you can still do it online submission through assignment function in UMOL. Okay, so let's start with the individual assignment first, shall we? I thought there's someone trying to ask a question. So this is the assignment function. Okay, as you all know. So setting up the assignment is very easy. We have been doing this. So let's say we create first assignment. Just give a meaningful name so that you won't get confused later on. Okay, assignment 1. Okay, you can put the mark also can. Let's say it's 15%. Okay. It's always a good practice for you to include description. Okay, if you don't want to, but also can. But actually, description is actually the way you describe the assignment. Okay, so it's good that you put the description as well as you upload the file of your assignment here. But just so you know, okay, at this description part ni, if you feel like it is very difficult for you to explain about the assignment in a written format, you can actually explain it verbally, okay? Because in this current version, this version of Moodle 3.5, they already upgrade their text editor, okay? So this is their text editor, as you can see here, all these tools, all these icons ni. Okay, they have this thing, this editor is called ATTO or Atto editor. And Atto editor ni, you can actually explain things verbally through videos and also audio. Okay, let me show you. Okay. So this is actually the video recording in Atto editor. Okay, ini what I'm showing you right now ni, if you feel like you need to explain verbally, okay, you can always type in, also can. Okay, this assignment is to test your skill in blah blah blah, okay. Or you can actually explain it verbally through video or audio. So let me show you how you can record this video. Okay, so start recording. Okay. So you can explain your assignment right now through this video, okay. Tell students about the components that it will be assessed, tell them about what kind of content you're looking for and all that. So if you're satisfied with the recording, you can stop. And if you're satisfied, you can straight away attach the recording. If you're not satisfied, you can record again. Okay. I'm not sure about the length of the video, but in UUM normally the setting is you can upload up to 500 megabyte per file. So I think 500 megabyte for video is quite lengthy lah. Okay, quite lengthy lah. But I don't think you will go for that kind of size, right? Okay. So let's say I'm satisfied with this video, so I'm attaching it right now. Attaching the file. So there you go. You have your video as your explanation for your assignment. Okay. Let me make this a bit bigger. That's the video. Right. Okay. So yep, that's how you use the Atto editor. Okay. So you boleh edit balik and have text. Not sure how here. Right. Right. Okay. This is one example. And as I said earlier before this in my demo tadi, it is recommended if you can upload also the handout in external file like PDF file. Okay. Okay, example, just upload. Because sometimes during this MCO ni, we don't know what is our students' punya situation. Maybe they have good internet access, maybe they don't have good internet access. So once they can actually access this one, they can download and read without internet connection. Okay, read and refer to do their assignment. Okay, let's say this is the handout. Okay, so attach. Upload. Right, so that's for the first part of this setting for assignment. Right. So now the second part is on the availability. On the availability part ni is actually for you to set the timeline lah, when you want to start. Okay, so let's say you want to start it as in today. Okay, start submission. So student yang rajin tu boleh submit teruslah malam sekarang. Okay, and then you can give due date. Okay, it depends on you punya SOW when you want to set the due date. Okay, let's see what about cut off date ni. Cut off date ni is if you enable this one, okay, meaning student won't be able to submit anything beyond that date. Okay, won't be able to submit. But if you don't enable this one, okay, they can still submit, but you will see in the view submission, you will see the submission is will be labeled as late submission. ada this text in red, late submission. Okay, so it's up to you if you want to set cut-off date, meaning you will block the student from sending any more submission after the deadline. Okay, and then remind me to grade, meaning if you plan to grade online, okay, so you boleh set this reminder. Okay, submission type. So that's it for availability. Move on to the next setting, submission type. Now for submission type, okay, you can allow students to submit either files or also online text. Online text means there will be text editor appear in front of them, so they can write anything, their answers in the text editor. They can also share links. Okay, those are online text. Okay, if your assignment is about essay, you can set limit lah, word limit. If it's not, then you don't have to set anything for word limit. Okay, this is the number of uploaded files. Normally, I will set to certain number. I won't allow them to submit too many files. Okay, like 3, 4, or 5, depending. Okay, this maximum number of uploaded files is also related to how many times you allow student to do resubmission. Because from my understanding in OBE, outcome-based education, we should allow them to actually resubmit until they actually achieve the objective or achieve the CLO, right? So normally in my class, I would allow students to resubmit up until 3 times. Okay, if their first submission doesn't meet the benchmark. Okay, so for each assignment, I'll put benchmark. So if their score is below the benchmark, I'll allow them to resubmit. So I can set here the number of the maximum number of uploaded files. So okay, this is the size. 250 is the maximum. Tadi I mentioned 250 megabyte. So that's quite a huge file size. So for assignment like report, I don't think you should set to 250. It can go down until 5 megabyte or 10 megabyte, depending lah, okay, on your situation. Now for accepted file types, okay, this is my advice, okay. If you accept any kind of file types for the submission, it might cause a burden to us to do the marking later, okay? Because for other file types, you need to download and then you need to open the file separately, have a view on the content, and then go back to UMOL for the grading because your rubric is inside UMOL. So it's quite cumbersome, okay? So I prefer to have a PDF file submission. So I set in the submission, I only accept PDF. Okay, why? Let me show you why I only accept PDF. Okay, contoh kan. Here, just now when I show you this assignment, okay, grading, okay. So for PDF submission, you can see the work on the same screen with the rubric. Only work for PDF, okay, I think, because I only tried PDF, okay. So, so PDF, what else can you do with PDF submission is that you can also do annotation. With this toolbar, you can annotate. Annotation means like this, let's say you are, okay, you have a look at the work first, the student's work. Okay. If you find any part that you think need to be corrected or you want to put your comment, okay, you can use all these annotation tools up here, right? For example, let's say lah, I want to use this cross mark ni. Let's say, oh, this is wrong. Okay, so you put there wrong, or this is not right. Contoh, so you can annotate lah. You can also paste notes. Okay, notes. If you want to say something on this particular part of the work, because mostly my my kind of assessment for this course involve design work. So maybe I want to put specific notes to that part of the design. So this is how you do it lah. Okay. So I don't like the color combination, blah blah blah. Semua tu boleh lah. Okay. Contoh, right?
Doctor, can you tell us the function of this icon first? Sebab tak berapa nak faham ni. Yang ini tanda, okay, can you?
Icon atas ni?
Ya, icon. Ini untuk apa, ini untuk apa. So it's easier for us to.
Okay. Sure. So this annotation tool atas ni, there are quite a few here. This is for you to insert notes. Kau tahu comments lah. Like now, the nature of my assessment ni, because it involves design work then. Okay, so let's say I want to give specific comment to specific area of the design. I prefer to use this comment notes ataupun just sticky notes. It appear on that part of the design that I want to comment. Okay, so this is the comments. This is just for you to change the color of the sticky notes. Okay, from yellow to pink to green. Okay. And this is just for you to, this is like a handle for you to move this thing around. Okay. Right. Okay, this is for you to, a pointer. Okay. And this for you to scribble. If you need to scribble. Okay. Let's see this part. I don't like this part, so you can highlight. This for you to also scribble but in line, a straight line. Line, you want to show this part ke? Okay, this part. This is just another geometric shape, rectangle. If you need to highlight everything like this, okay. A circle. This is just a highlighter. You need to highlight. This is just the color of the highlighter. You can change the color. If you want it to be yellow, so on and so forth lah. Okay. And this is the stamping. You can change the stamping. Ni macam kalau tadika boleh lah pakai smiley face ke, boleh juga. Smiley face. Okay, I like this one. I like this one. Okay. You can, if you like mistakenly put any stamping ke, or you mistakenly scribble anywhere, okay, you can actually what do you call it? Cancel it back. Let me see first. Okay, you must select first that thing using this pointer. Select. Okay, sorry. And then there's this garbage can, you can delete. Okay. Just skip lah. So that's how you do it. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, and delete. Okay, so that's what annotation tool is all about. So it's easier if you have PDF submission, you can do that. Besides seeing everything in one screen lah, the work and also the rubric. Okay, now let me go back to this setting. Okay, so you can do the restriction on accepted file types ni by go to choose. Okay, kat sini ada list of accepted file types. You can pick only PDF. Where is it? PDF. Here. PDF. Click document files. Choose only PDF. Okay. Then close. Okay. Choose again. Document files. Document files, expand. Okay, just a technical glitch. Just again, document files. Okay, PDF. Okay, I forgot that you need to actually click on this button, save changes. Okay, barulah accepted file type, so only for PDF. Okay. Right. Next on feedback types, feedback, I prefer to choose feedback comments, annotate PDF, so that the annotation to appear, annotate PDF. And normally that's all for setting feedback. Okay. Now submission setting. This is normally left untouched lah. Just let it be by default like this. Okay. But if you're doing this OBE thing that you allow student to resubmit, you can actually do the setting for attempts reopen ni. Okay, like in my case, I do it manually and I allow them to resubmit up to 3 times, okay, until they achieve the benchmark. Okay, now group submission setting, we'll do it later when I show you how to do group submission. Okay, so for now, we'll have to do this. Notification, notify graders. So this is just for us, just leave it as a default setting. Okay, grading. Now, this is the rubric part. Okay, right. So for grading, there are 3 types of grading method actually. Okay, you can see it from here. We have simple direct grading, marking guide, and also rubric. Okay, so all 3 can be done online, except that they have their own challenges lah. Simple direct grading ni meaning you only insert the point, the mark, and the score, the total score. So basically, you are doing the grading offline or somewhere else, okay? And then you only enter the score. Okay, and then we also have marking guide. Marking guide works almost the same like answer scheme, okay, answer scheme, and it is more open to subjective punya grading. The grading maybe like essay, because I think it's suitable to use marking guide. Okay, rubric is more objective. Rubric, okay, where you can have criteria and also the scale. Okay, so I normally use rubric. Okay, so I'm going to show you right now how you can set rubric for individual assignment. Okay, right. So we choose rubric. And for grade type, we choose point. Point will enable us to key in the value lah, the score, as in numbers. Okay, point. Here, maximum grade, you should put the what are the allocation for this coursework, for this assessment. Is it 10% or 15% in the coursework? So like right just now, I have created this assignment 1 for 15%. So here 15. Okay. So the rest, just leave it like that. Okay. For like this one, grade to pass, this is the one when I mentioned about benchmark. Normally I will put benchmark of 80%, meaning if the student score 80% and above of the maximum grade, like for 15, kalau 80%, I think it's 12 over 15, meaning they are safe. If they score below 12, like 9, 11, so I will allow them to resubmit. So you can set your grade to pass here. Okay, let's say 12, 80%. You know, maybe 75. Sorry. Okay. The rest, I think you can just leave it by default. Make it just as it is. Okay, for activity completion, okay. This is actually a good practice. If you set your activity completion. Sorry. Okay, for activity completion, you can set. Okay, I'll show you what activity completion is. If you notice, in your UUM, okay, let's say in front here, at the front page of the course, okay, as you can see here, this thing, this tiny box, okay, to the end of every item, every object, okay. This is actually for you to set whether the progress, okay, either manually or it can be automated. Okay, let's say for this task, katalah dah complete, so you tick. Okay, this will reflect in the dashboard nanti. So in the dashboard, okay, tadi tu apa? Tadi aku lupa. Okay, it reflects here, this percentage ni. Okay, so the more activity that you have completed as your progress, it will show bigger percentage lah. Okay, this is what percentage means. Okay, right. So let's go back here to editing. So if you want to set your activity completion to make it automated, so you can set shows activity as complete when conditions are met, whatever condition that you want for this assessment. Let's say a student must receive a grade. So all students receive their grade. So this activity is considered as complete. Okay. Or if student means it's completed. So it depends lah. Depends. Okay. Right. Ataupun student only view je is already complete also can. Okay. So it depends. Right. Let's say we decided to tick all three. Right. Text is nothing. Competencies pun nothing. Just leave it as it is. So yeah, basically that's all the setting that you need to do for assignment. Okay. So I just show you how to set your rubric here. Sorry, where is it? In grading, how to set the grading method first, not yet setting up the rubric. Okay, so you must choose first the grading method as rubric and then set the maximum grade. And also, if you need the grade to pass, you can set your grade to pass. Okay, and click save and display. So once you have selected grading method as rubric, you will brought to this page, okay, advanced grading. So your assignment title will appear, assignment 1, 50%, okay. So this page will ask you to set your rubric, okay. So if you happen to set it for the first time, then you have to define from scratch lah, define from scratch. So let's click on this one. So this is the page for you to set your rubric, okay. Let's see lah, you accidentally close the window and then suddenly, how do I open it again? The advanced grading tu. Don't worry. Kita see the rest dulu. Let's say you accidentally, kena bagi nama. So rubric for assignment 1. Okay. I'm showing you situation where you accidentally close this page. Okay. So you have not set up the rubric, but you accidentally close the page. So where can you access the rubric again? Make sure you open the assignment first. Open like this, okay. And then you go to the menu on the left side here. Go to advanced grading and then define rubric. This is where the rubric setting should be, okay. So it will come back to the same page, okay. So you can continue setting your rubric here. So here is to give name to the rubric, give a meaningful name so it won't confuse you later. If you need to describe, you can describe it here in the description, okay. So this is the rubric part, okay. So my advice is for you to get your rubric ready first. You can utilize the existing rubric that you have that you've been using all this while, okay. Except that I would like to advise you, you need to set 0 mark for each criteria. Apart from the other scale lah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kan. Because sometimes I notice when we create rubric, we always start at 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1 until 10, okay, doesn't matter. So we forget to set the 0 mark. Why? Because in the online grading in UUMOL, if you forget to set the 0 mark, let's say the student work doesn't comply with the criteria. Let's say the content of his or her work doesn't show any part of that criteria. So you cannot give them 1 because it was not available. Okay, and you can also leave it as blank. Okay, because if you leave it as blank, the grading won't be completed. There will be error coming out saying you need to complete the grading. So it's good that you can set 0 as the lowest mark and then 1 to 5 or 1 to 4, it's up to you. Okay, I'm going to show you, let's say one rubric here. Let's say for this assignment, I'm looking for the title, whether the title is okay or not. So you can have not available first. Okay, and then the second as poor, and then acceptable, at level for to add more points. Okay, as good. And next one is excellent. Okay, right. I know rubric should have like the conditions kan, the condition, the description for each condition lah, for each skill ni. Okay. Let me explain to you. Okay, let me show you one rubric. Okay. This is one rubric I have. This is the rubric. Okay. So you have the description for each skill. Okay. So that's how you know whether the student should get 2 or 3 or 1. Okay. But to set it inside here, the UMOL, I don't advise you to actually include all the description because it will be very messy, very messy. It will be shown as a very lengthy rubric nanti masa you see it in grading here. Grading. Here. It'll be very messy lah with the description. Imagine the description, we make it look longer. Okay, so it doesn't look nice. So you better prepare one rubric for you to refer to the description. But I think once you are, once you have already marked like 10 work, I think you get familiar with all the descriptions. You don't have to look at the rubric anymore, right? Okay. Right, so let's come back to this one, rubric. Okay, so that's it. And then how do you go to the next criteria? The easiest way is for you to just duplicate. Duplicate je. Don't add criterion. Because kalau add criterion, you have to spell it out again. Not available, poor, acceptable, good, excellent. So I don't do that. I prefer to just duplicate. Okay, and then just change the criteria. Say image. Okay, the quality of the image. And duplicate again, let's say the audio quality. For example, let's say the mechanic of this design or work, what else, so on and so forth lah. Okay, the layout. Okay, for example, okay, let's say we decided to have just this as a rubric. Okay, right. So are we good? So if you think we are ready with the rubric, you can save rubric and make it ready by hitting this button. Okay. Now what happens if you save rubric and make it ready? The rubric will appear in the grading page nanti. Okay, show you. You can go back to your assignment 1. So this is the individual assignment. So I expect 49 students should submit this online. Okay, this is the deadline, everything. 0 submitted because we just set this up. So you can see the rubric here when you click on the grade. Okay. Of course, there's no submission. So this is the rubric. It appear on the right side. Okay. You can actually toggle the view. You want to see just the rubric, then toggle here. Rubric and work, students work, this. Or only students work, this. So you can toggle the view. Okay. So you just select whichever score for each criteria that you think they deserve to get. Okay. And then just click on save changes. Save changes. That's it. And it will record. Then save changes. Okay. So changes to the grade was saved. So it will appear here lah 9.75. Okay. Right. Okay, so that's how you do the rubric. Okay. I think Dr. Izon is going to record this session, right? So maybe you can watch it later.
Yeah.
Record kan? Okay. If I like went through this too quickly for you, it's too fast, then you can watch the video. Okay. Right.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
What if the points is in the range form?
Oh, you can set the range for according to decimal points, whether it's 2 or 1 or 3. Okay. So it can be set inside grades, I think. No, sorry. Let me see. Edit settings for the assignment. You mean range tu maksudnya decimal points ke?
No, I meant like 1 to 3 as in like poor.
And the rubric is up to you. You can set until 10 also can. 1 to 10, 1 to 5, 1 to 4. There's no limit. I have not tried more than 10 lah. Are you clear? Okay. So maybe she's asking, you're asking about this one, right? The level.
Yeah.
The points can be added up until, I have not tried the maximum, but I don't think you should have like 100 skill for the rubrics. I think 1 to 5.
What I meant is that at the point where we mark, if we select poor, it's assumed it's 0.1, right? 1 point, right?
Yes, correct.
But
1
if
point.
I set, let's say, for example, 1 to 4, and I select poor, so maybe the marks I want to give is, let's say, 2, but I've set the interval as 1 to 3. So how do we go about that?
You set it 1 to 3, but then you should just choose 2 lah, if you want to set it 2. I'm not really clear about your question.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that, let's say, for example, poor, the marks interval is, the score interval is 1 to 3. Acceptable is 4 to 6. So later on when we grade, we key in the marks manually, is it?
No. It will be recorded automatically. Or meaning, let's say you have like the a cumulative mark like for poor, if you score between 1 to 20. Acceptable if you score 21 to 35, like that.
No. What I meant is, let's say, for example, at this moment you have set poor as 1, acceptable as 2. So when I mark, when I choose poor, automatically 1 is added. The next one, if I choose acceptable, 2 is added. But now I'm setting poor as 1, as an interval, 1 to 3. That means I can choose any marks between 1 to 3 for students who display poor performance.
Yes and no, because so what you want to have interval for each category?
Yes, for poor, acceptable, good, excellent.
I've not tried that one before. I'm sorry, because
never mind. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
In the rubric, the points is set as exact number, not interval. Poor is 1. Sorry, it doesn't take interval. It take exact numbers for each category, each skill for each criteria. Okay. Right. So where was I? Okay, so this is how it appear lah. Okay, so it will calculate the marks accordingly. Okay, and it will show you the what you call it, the marks out of the total score for the assignment. If it's 15, then this is 9/15. Okay, 9/15. So that's for rubric. Do we have any more questions on rubric? What's the time now? Okay, it's already 3:34. Right. Let me go quickly to another type of grading method. Okay, like I showed just now. Let's say edit settings. I assume everybody knows that if you want to edit any part of the assignment, okay, you can just go to edit setting. First you open the assignment and go to edit setting. Okay, and then you can see the setting that you have set previously and you can change, okay, wherever you want. So right now ni, I want to show you different type of grading method. Okay, now, right. So you can, as you can see here, okay, this this message appear because just now we already tried to mark at least one work from student just now. Okay, so it says some grades have already been awarded, so the grade type cannot be changed. If you wish to change the maximum grade, you must first choose whether or not to rescale existing grades. Okay, this means that once you have already used the rubric, you cannot change it at this grading setting. Okay, because the rubric has been used. Okay, so if you suddenly want to change the criteria or add more criteria, you can still do it while the rubric has not been used yet. Meaning when you have while you have not started grading, then you can still edit your rubric. Okay, I hope I'm clear for that. Okay, so meaning we have to create another one. Okay, let's create another assignment. Okay. For marking guide, okay. Let's say this is another individual assignment. So I just go quickly. First, we already covered this part. This is another 15%. Right, description. This assignment requires you to blah, 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 blah. Okay, attach files if you have availability, set. Okay, submission type, file submission. Set this. Okay, PDF. So changes, feedback types. Okay, nothing to change here. Submission settings, nothing to change here. Great. Okay, great. Okay, I'm about to show you how to do another grading method, another type of grading method. So you need to change. You need to choose type point. Okay, so 15 because that's the total mark for this assignment. 15. Now we want to try marking guide, just so that you get the idea what marking guide is. Okay, marking guide, it will appear like this. Let me show you one example. Okay, maybe you prefer something like this, you're more flexible and it can cater for more subjective punya grading. I have tried once, marking type will appear something like this. Okay. Okay, if you can see this one, okay, this is how it looks like when you choose marking guide. Okay, so right now ni, I create the criteria for my marking guide. I have these three. I have introduction, I set to 5 marks. So you can comment here or you can have your own opinion on what introduction should have. Okay, and you can insert your mark here. Okay, and then for content, so you can be very specific about your content. You can be very general about your content. So it's up to you. And you set your mark as 10 here. This is the part where you can comment on the content. Okay, and conclusion 5. So this is what marking guide looks like. Okay, and then we save the changes and the mark will appear automatically. Okay, so this look a bit more flexible lah kot. Okay, right. So here,
Doctor, this one is more pada answer scheme lah kan? Kan we can
answer scheme.
answer scheme, right?
Betul-betul. Yalah, macam assignment maybe hard for you to design a rubric for it, maybe you can use marking guide. Okay, macam answer scheme. So how it works, okay, set marking guide as a grading method. Grade to pass, if you want to set, you can set 12. Okay. The rest, just leave it as it is. Save and display. It will bring you straight to this advanced grading page again, for you to set your marking guide. Okay. So if you want to set a new marking guide, so you start from scratch, click here. This is how you do it. So marking guide for assignment 2. Okay. So description, if you want to put description, if you want to leave it blank also can. So this is the part where you create your marking guide. Okay. You can add your criterion. Okay. Click to edit criterion name. I did just now, introduction. Okay. If you want to put some description for student also can. Description for markers. Just but since this one is under our very individual account, I don't think that there's other person will do the marking for you. But it's a good practice lah if you can put description, so you can always refer in the future. Okay, just in case you forget about what you should be assessing. Okay, based on this criterion. So the description, keep it here. Maximum score, this is the score. Let's say you put 5 for introduction. Okay, that's it. And then add another criterion. Let's say discussion. Maybe this is suitable for a report kind of assignment. Okay, with a very textual punya answer lah, like essay. Okay, maximum score, let's say I put discussion 10. This is just example. Add more criterion, examples. Can have like 5, and then last one, conclusion. Can have like another 5. Okay, and cukup ke 15? Oh, remember you have to fit all this maximum score into 15. You have 5, 10. Oh, tak boleh ni, lebih dah ni. So kita boleh buat maybe 2 here. Discussion maybe 5. Examples maybe 5. Another 2 here. 14. Maybe 3 here. So 15. Okay. Right. So save marking guide and make it ready. So you can see straight away it will bring you to this. You can see your marking guide on the screen here next to students' work. Okay, so it work the same. Set the mark. This will be the description that will appear here. Okay, you can also feedback comments to students if you want to add more notes to them for them to learn something. Okay, this comment will appear to individual student, meaning they won't be seeing comments on your friend's work, only their work. Okay. Then if you are satisfied with the marks, you just save changes. So the changes will be recorded. Okay, here. Right. So that is for marking guide. So I've shown you 2 types of grading. Okay, in UMOL. Hope you're clear. Okay. Right. Next, what next? How do we do group submission? Okay, group submission involve additional settings where you need to set some group setting first in UMOL. Okay, so are you ready? Yes, let's go. So how do we set group setting in UMOL? So for this course, in this particular course, I have 49 students. 49 students. So let's say we allow them to form a group of, I don't know, six people in a group. So we should get 6 times 8, 48. 48. So let's set the group. How do we set grouping okay, inside UMOL. We need to do the group setting first before we can actually do the assignment for group submission setting. Okay, so to do the group setting, you go to users here on this left menu, users. Okay, and then choose groups. Okay. So normally I will allow the student to choose their members so that they feel comfortable working together lah. Okay. You can also auto create, just assign automatically also can. Okay. But students might not be satisfied. I don't know. They won't be happy working with people that they are not close with. So yeah, how do you create groups? Okay. So this is the screen for creating groups. Okay. So first you need to create group. Remember, I have 49 students, okay, for this group. So when you create a group, set a name. This is for assignment 3, Assignment 3, say group 1. Can you give any name? And give meaningful names, easy for you to refer to, right? Description, no need. The rest, leave it as it is, save changes. I will bring you to this page. Okay. So you see the group has been created here, right? Now, how do you add your students to that group? You click on this button. Okay. So we choose a student. Let's say Salika decided to do it with Neshalini. So we add Salika first, and then we add Neshalini. And then we add Lata also want to join the group. Maybe Chong Chiching. Maybe Chong Poi. Okay. 6 people, Shari Shauki, add. So that's all, 6 members for this group. Now back to groups. Okay, back to groups. So we are done with the first group. We need to create, how many groups is now? 8 groups kan. So we continue the same process, create group. Assignment 3, group 2. Okay, I'm just going to show you just few lah. Okay, save changes. So this is group 2. There's still 0 members. So we need to assign. So add, remove users into group 2. So this is a bit of a lacking side of creating group ni. The name of students that are already in group 1 still appear in the same list. So you need to be careful. Okay, you need to choose those who are no longer in any group lah. Okay, let's say for group 2, I choose Aidil Wafi. I choose Let me go faster. We have Haida Izzati. Editing. 5 and Irfan Jasmine. Okay, so we have 6 people in this group. Back to groups. So we already set 2 groups with 6 members. So the rest are still ungrouped lah. So right now we have 2 groups lah. Okay. Now let's go back to our course and see what happened.
Hello, Doctor. Dr. Siti, I'm Madhi here. Just now, there is one button, auto create group. Is it random group creation?
Yes, random group creation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So right now I'm going to show you what happened once we have created group. So let's say our third assignment is a group assignment. So assignment, add. I think for a large class size, it would be good to have auto group assignment good. I don't know, this can be quite tiring to create all the groups manually. So this is assignment 3, 30%. Okay. So this is a group assignment, right? So the description is how you describe the assignment. It can be verbally through video or audio, or you can write it down here. This assignment requires you to blah blah blah. Okay, add files. Okay, availability, set it when the deadline should be, things like that. File submission, just set quickly. Tak payah set pun tak apalah. Feedback types. Okay, this part, group submission setting. The part where it's a bit different from individual assignment just now. We need to create yes. You need to choose yes for group submission. So once this one to yes, require group to make submission. No, meaning it's only one member saja. Sorry, require yes. Require all group members submit? No, only one only. Okay, and the rest is leave it there. And grading can still follow the same, whether you want to have it as a rubric or marking guide. Okay, let's say simple direct grading dulu. Just want to show you how group submission looks like lah. Okay, point, let's say marker 30%. Okay. So different display. Just want to show you how it appears. Okay, so we have 4 groups here. Okay, 4 groups. What does it mean by 4 groups? Because tadi, if you check back dekat users tadi ni, okay, let me go back to you. Why we always see 4 here? Let's see. The users. Sorry. Groups. Okay. So because I already created 2 groups here, X1 and X2, so it counted lah. We have 4 groups. Okay. So that's why you see 4 groups. Okay. So it doesn't show you the whole class total, but it shows you the group total 4. Then when you view submission. Okay. So those who are not assigned in any group, see, because we have not completed the group assignment tadi kan, so that's why they're not in a group member, not a member of any group. So let's check names that we have. Ni ada konflik, ada 2 group. Okay, this one. Group 1. So Syarif Syauki, Muhammad Aidil are already now in their groups lah. Group 1, group 2. So that's how it looks like. Okay. So that's how you do group setting for group submission. Okay. Group assignment, sorry. Alright. Okay. I hope you are clear about that one. We already created 2 types of assignment. 2 individual assignment and 1 group assignment. Okay. So what you need to understand is the difference between is that you need to create the group setting first before you actually create assignment for group. Okay. So that was the step lah. So far so good. Oh, information overload. Okay.
So far so good, kan? Okay.
Okay, I would like to proceed to quiz because you're already approaching 4 in about 8 minutes. Okay. Right, for quiz. Okay. So quiz is another type of assessment that we normally have for our coursework. So to create quiz, okay, as I mentioned earlier in the session, this is quiz. Okay, the quiz function. If you follow Dr. Zahiruddin webinar session on March 30th, if I'm not mistaken, you already touched almost all types of quiz in his session. Okay, it's very clear and it has been presented really well. So I'm not going to repeat again. Okay, so but as you know, the type of quiz that we have in UUM, there are several types. Okay, so let me just quickly create dulu quiz ni. So let's say ni quiz 1. Quiz 1 maka tu dah habis tadi apa 5%. Contoh dulu. Quiz 1 5%. So timing. Okay, timing it's just for you to set when will the quiz be available, okay, and when the quiz will be closed. Okay, So the open and close ni is actually the duration to allow student to access the quiz. Okay, let's say you open it from 8 to 5. So the student maybe can access it in different time. Okay, so as long as they are accessing the quiz within 8 to 5, then they still can attempt the quiz lah. But for the time limit, it's actually once they started to attempt, the clock will start ticking lah. Okay, let's say you want to set it for 15 minutes only. 15 minutes. So set here 15 minutes. Right? Maybe 20 or 30 minutes. Now, what I learned from Dr. Zahiruddin's punya session last time, of course, there's this concern, majority of us are concerned about the reliability of having online quiz with this, during this MCO, and because we are not seeing the student, and the student are doing it at their own at their own place. So there might be possibility that it might be cheating lah, or copying answers, okay? So the advice that he gave was for you to actually set the time limit for the quiz, not make it too long. Okay? Make it just enough for them to attempt the quiz. Okay? The other advice is that he gave, you should try to do a HOT type of question, higher order thinking and higher order thinking. So don't give a very straightforward answer that they can Google it on their second screen, like mobile phone or tablet, okay? And then the third one, maybe I can show you later. If you do MCQ, you can actually set the MCQ for the student to actually be very careful when they answer the question. So normally MCQ, they will choose one best answer lah kan, because from the options. Normally they can just we call it tembak lah, just randomly answer. Okay, we can set in the MCQ, if they get it wrong, the mark will be reduced. The mark will be discounted lah from their total marks. So in that situation, they will be more careful when they answer question, MCQ question. That might help lah. Besides other security setting that I will show you later. This is how he addressed the concern about the reliability of quiz, online quiz in UMOL. Okay. So the rest of the setting, if you want to set grace period, okay, it's advisable for you to set grace period. Grace period ni, when the time is up, they still have like, depends on the grace period that you set. I say 1 minute for them to click on the submit attempt. Okay, once they click the submit attempt, only then the marks will be counted lah. Okay, so we give them grace period. During grace period ni, they cannot change the answer, only just to hit the submit attempt. Okay, so grace period, 1 day lama sangat, minutes lah. Okay, 1 minute. Right, so grading. Grading, nothing much, this can be set later. Layout, okay, you can set. Okay, new page for every question, or every question be on one page, it depends. Okay, so on and so forth. Question behavior, you can shuffle. This might do the trick as well. Student cannot have, cannot like discuss the same question if the flow is different. Because different questions appear on different screen. Let's say discuss using your second screen with friends. Okay. Review options. This will be setting that you need to do. Okay, for the review to appear. This you might want to consider carefully lah. Okay, what will appear in the attempt, the correct answer, the marks and everything. Appearance, okay, this is decimal places for the mark, the quiz mark. Now, this is for the extra restrictions on attempt. Okay, this is the part where you can have more layer of security set to the quiz. Okay, first layer of security, you can have password. Okay, password, you can set password. And you will only share the password with the students when they are ready to answer. But this, I think, is more, I don't know, more logic if you have students in front of you and they are ready to attempt the quiz at the same time. So you just reveal the password. This will, what you call it? This will avoid students who are not attending the quiz session to answer because the password will only be revealed during the session. Okay, tapi in MCO punya situation ni, I don't think it's necessary. Okay, required network address also can be applied if you can have, if you know the IP address for the lab PCs. Okay, you can have the IP address there, so you won't be able to answer from devices with other IP address. Okay. This enforced delay between first and second attempt. First and second attempt, yes, you can set this. Okay, and the most popular one is, I think, this one good. Browser security. This can be applied, I think, in this MCO situation. We set it to full screen pop-up with some JavaScript security, meaning the screen that appear when they attempt the quiz will be a full screen. So there's no navigation control will be allowed. Meaning they cannot have multiple tabs dalam screen tu, cannot. So they have to see only the screen. Okay, but still they have the second device, okay, with them. So I think this is probably the thing that we can have lah, to avoid them from copy pasting from the answer that they have Google in other tab. Okay. And we allow quiz to be attempted offline using a mobile app. I don't know, it's up to you, because in MCO probably they are using their devices like smartphone, tablet, maybe you can allow them. But if it's in a lab setting like what I did last time, I did not allow this one because everyone has to use the PC in the lab. Okay, right. So yep, that's how you do the extra restriction. Okay, so let's say the password is CMO. This is the password, CMO. I set the password there. Okay. The rest, nothing much. This is feedback. And save and display. So you have to do the general setting for quiz, but you are not yet setting up the quiz question. Still long way to go. So, grace period must be more. So itulah. Okay, so once you are done with the setting, it will bring you to this page. Okay, all the information about the quiz is displayed here. The quiz will start. So the quiz won't be made available to the student not until the time that we have set lah. Okay, so this is the time limit and things and everything else lah. So how you create a quiz? You can click on this edit quiz button. Or if you miss this page, you can click it here in edit quiz as well. Okay, to edit quiz. So as I mentioned just now, there are quite a list of question types, right, for quiz. As you can see from here, I say add a new question. So this is a list of question type. There are 15 altogether, 15 if I'm not mistaken. So all these quiz type are auto graded atau auto mark. They will give you the, they will do the grading for you, and they will assign the scores and everything automatically, except for one, which is essay. Essay has to be marked manually. Okay. But I'm not going to show you one by one because, like I said, Dr. Zahiruddin already covered this part. So you can watch again the video by Dr. Zahiruddin. Okay. But what I'm going to show you, I'm going to share with you guys in this session is that how to import question in the question bank, which I think can be very time saving and very helpful for us. Okay. So let's do it. So this one is just need. Let's try import a question from the question bank. Okay. Let's create another quiz. Boleh juga kat sini, tak apa. Okay, quiz one. Edit quiz. So, why I said importing question from question bank is much easier because you see, if you do it manually, a new question. So this is how you add question. Add a new question. Okay, so this is all the type of question that you can set. Let's say multiple choice. Okay, add. You see, the setting, this is only for one question, one question. See the setting, the question name, you have to put the question name, the question text, and then the marks and feedback if you want to, and all the options, and which option is the answer, you have to put 100 lah. If it's not the answer, put 0. Okay. So on and so forth lah. Multiple tries. Ini penalty. This one I said earlier. If you want to make it more strict, okay, you can set penalty for each incorrect try. So student will be more careful lah when they attempt to answer MCQ question. Okay. So imagine all this setting only for one question. It might be quite demotivating and tiring. Okay. So that's why I'm going to show you how you can import question from question bank. Right? Okay. The quiz 1. Okay, let's go back here. Add from question bank. Okay, from question bank. Now, this is the question that I already have in my question bank. I'm going to show you from start how do we import our question. I believe that we already have a set of quizzes that we have been using for the past semesters. Okay, we might want you to recycle it again, just change here and there. But we already have the the question set in our Word document. Okay, so if it's an MCQ question, it'll be very easy to import to UUMOL and have it as an online MCQ quiz. Okay, I'm going to show you how. Right. Okay. So this is how you do it. Okay, first you need to have this one. Let's show you. Can you see it? Okay, so let's say this is your quiz from your Word document. Okay, so this is the MCQ. Okay, you should set the quiz to appear like this. Okay, you discard all the numbering, no numbering, meaning for each question, no numbering. Don't set any numbers to it. Okay. But you set numbering for the options using A, B, C, D. And then you set the answer below the question, the options. Okay. So let's say you have all this question for your MCQ. This is for MCQ first. Okay. I think MCQ is the best type of question for you to import in this case. So what you need to do is, from Word document, after you have do the quick formatting by discarding all the numbering for the question, you need to save again the file. File, save as. You must save it as plain text. Okay, plain text. This is plain text format .txt. Okay, so I already done this one. Plain text file. So this is my plain text file. Okay, so we're going to import this one inside our UUMOL. Okay, so what you need to do is go to the left menu. Go down to question bank here, question bank, import. Okay. Now there are many different file formats that Moodle can actually read, okay, for you to import file. So what I'm going to show you right now is the icon format, the icon format, the first one, icon format, macam brand bedak ni kan. Okay, icon format is actually suitable for MCQ. Okay, provided that you already do the quick formatting in your quiz file tadi tu, discard all the numbering and do it accordingly lah. Ada A, B, C, D, and also the answer below. Okay, so you choose Icon format. And then go to general, nothing, you don't need to change anything. Now you import the file, the plain text file. Okay, so this is the plain text file, I think, yes. Okay, open, upload this file. Okay, so the .txt file, import. Right. So it says here, passing questions from import file, importing 17 questions. There are 70 questions in that Word file just now, sorry, in the plain text file just now. So these are the questions, continue. Import. Yep. So all the questions have been imported, masuk inside UUMOL. So you can just utilize the question. Okay, I'm going to show you how. This one. This is a question from the file that we have import this now. Let's preview. See? So you have your MCQ questions imported in the UUMOL. Okay. So this is the answer A. Suppose preview. So if you wish to use it, then you can just choose lah. Choose. Okay. So go back to quiz 1 is now. Edit quiz. Add from question bank. So choose lah. Kata let's say, okay, I want this question, this question, this question. Pilih lah balik semua question yang you want. Okay. Add selection quiz to the quiz. Voila, then you have it. Your MCQ ready to be published and student can attempt. Okay. All right. But make sure you set the grade accordingly. If it's 5%, then 5% here, maximum grade. Okay. So here you have to change lah. Dia punya weightage dia. So it fits 5% to. If you have like 30 questions, then the weightage will be different lah for 5%. Okay. Right. So that's how you have your quiz. Save message. We save it first. Okay. Let's preview this quiz. We have password just now. Okay, attempt. So this is how the quiz will look like. See the MCQ question. Very easy to do this import question bank. Now, besides importing file format for MCQ question, you can also import another file format for question like fill in the blank, true, false. Yeah. Okay. Actually, as you see this now, okay. To import. Moodle can actually accept all this format. Okay. Icon, blackboard, the rest. Okay. There's this tutorial that I found in UUM online learning under the course UUM online learning training that actually teach you how to import file for format icon for MCQ, format GIFT for you to do true false, multiple choice, matching question in GIFT, and also this format word table. Okay, so you can, I will show you the link later on. Yep, so that's how you import file. So that's for quiz. I hope you can understand. Okay, so having said all your assessment are ready and have been attempted and completed. Okay, like this one. Let's assume it's ready. Okay, so you can view your grade book in the end of the semester, like what I have showed earlier. Okay, by just going to grades. Okay, here grades. So you'll see. Okay, this one. Ignore the first 3 because this one come from the real assessment for the coursework. Okay, see, this is the assessment that we have just created in this demo session. So it is included inside this grade book. Okay, so once everything is completed, you can actually export the gradebook into Excel file and have it ready for you to do, your vetting or to key in to UUM system and for you to transmit your mark. Okay. I think I have exceed the time limit. It's already 4:15. Sorry. So I think that's all my sharing for today. Do you have any question?
Grading boleh pindah ke Dato' Mahfuzah? Tersilap.
Ya.
Grading tu kalau tersilap boleh pindah ke?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Dia boleh override benda ni. Dia ada override mode. Dia boleh tukar. Setup dia. Boleh change kat sini ataupun individually you can go to each student. There's this override mode. You can change. Let's say like we want to reconsider kan. Maybe they are the case yang border line ni. Boleh lah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Can we see?
Student
Can
boleh
we do the
access
same
the marks or not?
Sorry?
Student can access the marks or the grading or not?
No.
Kita
They will
boleh
only
stop.
they can only view their marks. Okay, let me show you the students' view. Let's say for assignment pun, they cannot see it as in like tabulated format lah macam everything. They can see it individually. For example, for assignment 1, okay, this is what student will see, their view. Switch role to student. So they will see the marks that they are getting from the rubric and the total marks, and that's it, and any comments. Okay. So they won't be seeing others punya mark, and they cannot actually do anything with the gradebook. That's only for us to view.
Doctor, can we do the same set through the Turnitin?
Tiny tune. Sorry, I didn't get you. Tiny jam.
There are two options in an assignment submission. There is one which we just create for assignment submission without Turnitin. Another one has a Turnitin to actually check the similarity.
Oh, turn it in. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can actually create if we are worried about the plagiarism issue, we can change our submission through assignment turn in. Yeah, there's this option. Okay. I'll show you. Suddenly it becomes slow. Wait, Then okay. Sorry. Patut this is student view. Okay, normal row. Okay, yes, for the one asking about turning in, yes, we also have this option to do the submission through, to ask our student to submit through another function called assignment turn in. Okay, this one, turning in assignment. Okay, turn in assignment. Okay, so I've done this before in my course. Okay, so for assignment turn in, it take quite some time to appear. You can also have rubric with the submission through turn in. Oops. I don't know what happened. Suddenly, this thing doesn't want to cooperate anymore. but it's okay. For turning in, if you want to use turning in, you can also refer to, let me share with you.
Dr. Mahfuzah, can you share the webinar link from Dr. Zahiruddin UUM tu?
Oh, UTLC tak record yang hari tu. Itu kan luar. Saya ingatkan boleh. Kejap. Okay. Hari ni, sources yang macam just now I said, I learned about import question, MCQ question, true false question, everything to question bank. I learned it from here. Okay, I found this course in our UUMOL. If you search for UUM online training, you can actually join this course by UUM IT. Okay, here they also shared some helpful resources. Okay, so just go to your learning UUMOL portal, search for this one, UUM online learning training, and you get to join the course. Okay, so they are sharing a lot of good resources here. Or you can also download this. Okay, you can access it from this QR code or this URL. This ebook prepared by UUMIT. It shows all the steps for all the basic functions inside UUMOL. For the turn-in also, they include a very step-by-step, very clear step-by-step how to create turn-in assignment. Okay. And then for Dr. Zahiruddin, you can access his sharing on setting up quizzes in LMS. Since their LMS also using Moodle, so it's the same with us, so that they have a call spectrum. So you can access it from this WordPress.com, ADECUM08. They have a very good list of references in video format, so you can follow the steps in video format for all quiz type. Okay. ADECUM08.wordpress.com. Tapi untuk video Dr. Zahiruddin tu, Dr. Izwan, if you access ADEC punya website, UM punya ADEC website tu memang ada. They have collect all the videos or webinar videos that they have recorded there. There's a link. Macam UTLC buat juga lah.
Okay, I think I have that. I will share with good member from each school later on.
Okay.
I think I have that one. They share it in my punya group.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Still not opening the turning in. I'm so sorry, but I hope you can refer to the ebook, sir, about how to set the turning in assignment. It's very clear step-by-step process. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome. I think that's all from me. I hope I shed some lights to whatever problem that you have to have this online assessment ready for our students after 15 May. Okay. With that, I thank you for your attention.